Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Over the past couple of days, I've shared some great card ideas you can make with the contents from this month's kit. Today, I'm sharing with you my 5th alternative card idea using the June 2025 Paper Pumpkin kit called Full of Charm. If you'd like to watch me unbox the kit and create these original cards or see any of my other alternatives, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. So today I'm going to share with you a quick and simple card, which is super elegant in its simplicity. I love adding a touch of embossing to the rectangle behind the die cut, and I think it just gives that little bit of extra that really makes this card stand out. Each month I take contents from the Paper Pumpkin kits and make alternative projects. My cards are easy to follow and can be made by both experienced or new paper crafters. You may need just a couple other products to complete them. You can follow along with me using supplies you already have or purchase any products you see me use from my online store. The link to all products is below in the description or on my blog, creativechelsey.com. So to begin this card, we're going to take this card base from the kit and cut off 4 inches from the back piece. So go ahead and just measure right at 4 inches and trim. And then you're going to rotate to 5 1/4 and trim again. Now we're going to use this piece here. We're going to use the bottom or the back of it for our greeting. So don't throw that away. We're also going to take a piece of cardstock. I'm using Pretty in Pink, and it is 2.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And we're going to do some embossing or scoring along all the edges to give it a nice, elegant look. So to do this, I'm going to start with the edge at 1/4 inch, and then make sure to use your scoring blade and not your cutting blade. And you're going to score at 1/4 and then move it down 1/8. So it's at 3/8 now. And you're going to get a double score line just like that. Can you see that? And then we're going to rotate and repeat. So start at 1/4 inch, score, move down 1/8 to 3/8 and score, rotate, 1/4, score, move 1/8, score, rotate, 1/4, score, and move to 1 extra 1/8 and score. And this just gives us a really elegant embossed edge look that's going to help make our card really pop. So this is the die cut piece, and we removed it from an earlier project. And I'm just going to really emphasize this beautiful shape by cutting out some of these larger white spaces with my paper snips. And this will just make it feel a little bit more elegant and not so blocky. If you want, you can even come down here and do a little more cutting between this branch. I didn't do it on my original, but I noticed that I do have access to that space through the already open area. So that's kind of nice to be able to just trim off a little bit more to really give it a nice, elegant look. So that's what it looks like with it removed. That's what it looks like without it removed. Of course, you get to choose. I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Definitely focus along the edges. These edge pieces are perfect for that. And you don't need to worry about this bottom piece. If you have some smaller pieces, you could also add them to the leaves if you'd like as well. This is just going to go up in the top right. So make sure it's horizontal, and it's going to go up in the top right or left corner up against the top edge and the left edge. And then right here, you're just going to snip off the excess of the branch. Don't snip off the excess from the leaves, just the branch. And then we can add this to the center of our, actually before we do that, let's add this to our card base. And I just wanted a nice soft feeling for this card. So I'm using Basic Beige as my card base. And then I can add this piece right to the center of that. And then we can, let me show you a close-up now that we've got that on the card base. And then we can add our main element. And you just want to bring it up so that it's higher up on the card base, not quite in the center vertically, but you do want it centered horizontally. And then just always smooth out if you're using liquid glue so you don't get any bubbles. Coming together so pretty and really quickly. We're next going to stamp our greeting, and I'm going to use To a Wonderful Friend. And I thought about just using a dark purple color just to kind of pull in some of that dark purple in the die cut. You could use any color though. Don't feel like you have to use this one. And I'm inking it up, and I'm stamping it on that 1/4 of an inch that we cut off. And make sure to use the back side because the other side might have some gold foiling. And I'm going to stamp it off to the left a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm having a hard time seeing the edges. So I'm going to pull in my paper piecing mat or piercing mat, paper piercing mat, and I'm going to stamp it. Then I can see the edges of that paper just a little bit better and make sure that it gets as close to center as I possibly can. I stamped it off to the left, and that is going to help me. Actually, you could if you wanted to. So you could if you wanted to cut this down first, and then you could stamp it if you wanted it to be in the center. This is 2 3/4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up with that measurement on my cutting paper trimmer, and then I can add this to the card. I like it off to the left. I think it looks nice. I'm also going to add the dimensionals to this first and then just cover the dimensionals up with the greeting. And the reason for that is because it's going to sit really close to this edge, and I don't want to get any dimensionals over my die cut. I want that to stay all standing straight up. And I can use some of these edge pieces to help me get a nice skinny dimensional all the way across. So I'm just going to pull off one of the edge. This is the one with like the mountain shape, and then just kind of add it to the bottom edge there. I could even just do a really skinny one here and put it in the corner just to hold down that side if I want to. There. Remove the paper backing, and then this will just go right on top. Like that. Such a pretty, elegant card. Quick and easy to put together. I'm going to add just a couple sequins. Let's do another big one right down here. And your card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this beautiful card. If you're interested in getting your own paper pumpkin kit, please do so using the link in the description box below to subscribe. If you'd like to see written instructions or close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.